back with another quick video, and Happy New Year. After having quite a interesting amount of weather, you might say, we've actually got a nice crisp morning, so we're headed up to Stanton Moor. I just want to sort of give you a bit of an update on what's going on with the channel, what the plans are for the next year and going forward. So let's have a wander and have a natter. So initially there's a few things changing on the channel. One is the way that I'm actually sort of filming things. So I've actually splashed out, I bought a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which so far I'm very, very impressed with, I must admit. So things, I'm getting used to that, so next few videos might look a little bit different, but they should work okay. But yeah, that's one of the changes that I'm making. I've also sort of started to move things around. I'm going to try and get a bit more street photography in. It's something I really enjoyed doing last year, just those few sort of outings that we did, but try and get possibly a few more cities in, stuff like that, so really sort of get that side of it sort of working a bit more for me. But I'll still be doing quite a lot of the outdoor work. Like I say, for us here, Stanton Moor, it's fairly close to where we live anyway, so it's only an hour or so away, and it's a cracking place at all seasons. I mean, at the moment we are sort of deep in winter. There's no real sort of leaves on the trees, but it means I can get some lovely characters. I mean, it's a very bright day today, but I think we should still be able to get something, and there'll be a few bits and bobs out and about. And this is the reason that we came out early today. Whilst the sun was, just breaking through. It was a bit too clear to do a sunrise, it wouldn't be a bit too much. But you can see the lights catching these trees and giving a really nice effect. Now it's not foggy, would have been nice if you had fog, but the forecast was that to be at 3 in the morning, which actually wasn't on the cards. So this is the next best thing, so we've got some nice low sunlight filtering through the trees, which hopefully is going to give us a few nice shots and get some nice little sort of patterns dancing around. Essentially we're using the fact that you've got some really sort of strong highlights on the tree itself to sort of give us a bit of a sort of separation effect. Hopefully it'll work. We'll grab a few shots anyway as we're wandering through. And ordinarily you think one of the things that you do when it's bright like this is sort of get lots of sort of frosty shots and stuff like that, but the way it is, the light's not on the frost, if that makes sense. Basically anywhere that the sun's already come up, the frost has melted away, so you can't really get too much out of it. But I think some close-in shots, so get tight into the patterns of the trees, using the darker background behind it as separation, I think might work quite well. Almost like an abstract feel to it, so I think that's going to work. But I'm going to say there's some beautiful sort of trees laid out in front of us now, because obviously the area that we come to, Stanton Moor, we don't tend to go over the top where you see all the usual sort of photography videos from around here. We tend to stay a bit lower. A, it's a lot quieter, and B, I think the trees have got a little bit more character, so we tend to prefer this sort of area. But a few little sort of shots that are calling out to me at the moment, but you've got to be very careful, because obviously we've got very bright sunlight. We're shooting away from the sun, so you've got to be a bit mindful not to get your shadow in shot. So yeah, got to be a little bit careful, but some shots are definitely available. So something else I'm thinking about for the channel sort of going forward is doing a few more sort of video collaborations with other photographers. I know I tend to sort of, basically just me and Trace that come out most of the time doing the photography, but we found some of the meetups have been really quite nice, and it's nice to actually sort of bounce off other photographers, so sort of you see things how they see that, and sort of it's going to be different to how you see a scene. So it is really nice to actually get some, sort of nice contrasting sort of opinions. Sometimes you look at something and think, oh, that works, that leads in there, and they'll go, well, no, that leads out. And yeah, it's nice to just get a bit of a two-way sort of conversation going, and I find it sort of brings your photography on a bit as well. It's not like you're sort of just stuck, that's what I know. It helps you develop and sort of see things from another person's perspective, and I think it's really quite handy. So we're doing a few more of those this year, and hopefully like I say, everything pans out properly, get a few more sort of coastal visits as well, because I really quite enjoyed the few visits that we had to the seaside last year. Gotta say it, Lynn Jones, I'll pop a link to her channel down below. Go and look at it. She's astounding at long exposure coastal stuff, and frankly she's pretty good at the woodland and other stuff as well, but her speciality is the long exposure coast stuff. Go and check out her channel, she's really, really good at it, and she tends to sort of do the kind of video that I try and do as well. So it's not a lot of sort of technical stuff, it's more sort of she's just stood there telling you how she's composing the shot, and then you see what she's got. It's really sort of a nice watch, but go and check her out. And like I say, you'll see a few more of those this year, as we sort of start venturing towards the coast a bit more. Another thing I will be doing this year as well is going out with the prime lenses more. So obviously I've got the 9mm Lumix, the Leica one, and I've also just bought the 25mm Leica Lumix lens as well. That impressed with the 25mm standard Lumix. I got a bit of a deal come up on the the Leica version, the Summy Lux, and I just had to take it. So that's an f1.4 lens, which gives us a little bit more to play with, especially sort of night shooting and stuff like that. So I think that will work really well. Some night city stuff, lots of lights and sort of lights and shadows and stuff like that, really play with that sort of thing. So I'll do something with that at some point, but I'm hoping get a few more outings, different places. Yes, we're still going to be going up to the lakes because it's somewhere that we love and it's great to shoot. We're doing more climbing this year. I've already got sort of bits in place for a bit of an extended one, which may or may not come off photographically, but you can never really tell. But hopefully I'll get a little bit more on that, and I might do some more sort of bits with the sort of more the sort of left field stuff, so the hard macros and things like that. See what I can come up with, because I've not really done enough macro this year. I mean, obviously I bought the 60mm Olympus, but I've not really done a lot with it, mainly because the weather has been absolutely shocking over the past 12 months. So I'm hoping we'll get something a little bit better and get some decent macro conditions, have a bit of a play with that as well. So there's going to be a good bit of variation on the channel. I think that's one thing that I really do want to sort of push forward. Obviously, where we are, we've had a lot of storms recently. Certainly sort of tail end of sort of 2023 has been just storm after storm after storm. It's the first time I've been up here since, and there's quite a lot of tree fall and a few bits that take a little bit of clambering over. But it's interesting to sort of try and draw them into a composition and sort of try and find something. A bit of a stump back there. It's actually sort of literally just a stump in the ground, but using that as a bit of a foreground I think works all right. But definitely with these sort of areas, there's some newer trees and a lot of old trees, so you're going to get that sort of thing. But it can add character as well. You can sort of get a bit of a scene that you normally wouldn't get if you've got just uniform trees. So it can be quite useful. But the other problem that I'm finding today is some of the areas that have been fairly well trodden by the sheep and stuff are very, very sludgy. Even though it's cold and icy, you sort of break through that bit and you've got a boot full. So I'd be a little bit careful when I'm sort of putting feed. So hopefully not get too muddy today. And this is what I was saying about the tree fall. That magnificent thing has obviously gone down in the storms, but just around here, that's a lovely little alcove where we get a lot of fungi in the autumn. It's still, you can just get through, but yeah, it's quite a big one to actually drop down. But yeah, a bit of a shame to see, but yeah, it's nature, unfortunately. We know on that the fungi will take over, and it will still give quite a few sort of photographic opportunities, sort of for a few years to come, I think. I don't know whether you can actually make it out, but there's a cracking tree just up there, which has got some lovely patterns to it, but it's sort of really sort of well backlit, but you've got all these lovely mosses and stuff like that with it. So I've tried to grab a bit of a shot. Now, settings wise, I'm playing a bit today. I'll just move you around so you're not blinded by the sun. Playing a little bit today. A lot of it's going to be in F4 in the darker areas, moving to F8, F7.1, some F5.6. Auto ISO is fixing everything at 200, so it's not much of a problem at all. As far as shutter speeds go, it doesn't really matter. I can get up to like a few seconds on the 12 to 100, so it's not really bothering me too much. Now, you may notice something slightly different as well, other than the fact I've gone for a slightly different coloured jacket, is I've actually sort of got a new backpack on, which I'm trying out at the moment. Mainly for doing the bigger hikes later in the year. I wanted something that's got a bit more substance to it, and is going to sort of give me space for the camera gear and space for the sort of waterproofs and extra bits and bobs if you're doing sort of an extended hike. So having spoken to quite a few people, opted for a Shimoda Action. It's the 35 litre V2 that they've gone for, and yeah, so far this is the first outing on it. I'm still tweaking the positions and getting things right, but it feels pretty good. So yeah, it looks like everybody that's saying go buy Shimoda was right about it. You can see behind me here as well, quite a magnificent silver birch that's gone down, but it's kind of sort of basically shows how fragile things can be around here. It's just taken itself up from the ground. It's just like a carpet of moss that's gone with it. Yeah, it might give us some composition in the future at some point, but yeah, shame to see it go because it was quite a magnificent tree. And so far, let's just wander around the side of it. You've actually got the two trunks of it that sort of run out right from the base. Yeah, shame to see it go, and yeah, there's quite a few more around here, and so I'm grabbing a few shots as I'm going around with it. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a shame. Now, I would have actually liked to shoot this tree, but unfortunately it's half in light, half in not. Because if you look down where the actual root is, it follows all the way down through the rock itself. Really is quite a character. But unfortunately the way the light is, it just won't work. There's too much light and dark there, which is a bit of a shame, but it's one to remember for future reference though. But certainly sort of with the nice blue skies, you can get some nice silhouettes sort of facing towards the sun. So yeah, I've done a few bits and bobs like that. But no, it's been quite a nice morning so far. Another thing I'll try and do this year though is sort of try and sort of take notes of bits and bobs that we find, because normally if you're out and about, you're not always going to get these sort of fantastic compositions, but you might see something like that tree where you think, if the conditions were better, that I'd have to make a nice shot. So just noting down bits and bobs. One way of doing it, which I've seen sort of other people do, is actually take a phone snap and GPS log that snap. so you can always look back at it, you know exactly where you were when you took it, which is a really good idea. So if you're in sort of an area that, yeah, you've been a few times, but you're off a bit of the beaten track, which, yeah, knowing me, that's normally what I do. You know you can sort of get back to it by just looking at the GPS position. It will show you exactly where you were. So yeah, that's quite handy to do. But yeah, I'm going to take a quick snap of that, and I'll remember that for when the conditions are a bit better. So we're coming more into the sort of the busier part of Stanton Moor now, the bit where most people tend to come to. So yeah, shots do tend to become few and far between because there's people walking around everywhere. But there's a few little bits that we've picked out, you know, little sort of tight crops, like that. I mean, if I just spin you around here, let's see if I can get it without getting the sun in the way. That tree there, little grouping, beautiful little sort of setup. So grab a quick shot of that, but go carry on wandering now and get more onto the outer perimeter. So there we go, a few plans for the channel and sort of a few little shots from around here. I'll put a few more up now for you at the end, but yeah, hopefully you'll stick with us and sort of come along for the journey. And if you're not subscribed, you want to come along, hit the subscribe button, really does help out. And obviously if you've got something you think, yeah, might work for the channel, drop us a comment down below and sort of we'll get in touch. But yeah, if you could like the video, that will really help out as well. Just basically let YouTube know sort of people are enjoying it and sort of put it out to other people. But yeah, from a very bright, very frosty Stanton Moor in Derbyshire, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Take care.
Sunshine got me wishing for the moonlight. Got me wishing I was with you. Eyes are powder blue, powder blue. Dreaming, I've been dreaming of that feeling. Darling, I can stay right here, close to you, my dear. You, my dear. Got you now and forever. As long as we're together, there's nothing we